The team sheets are in and there's just 2 sleeps to go until grand final day. We have a huge grand final edition coming your way, featuring a live cross from training with our reporter Eddie Maguire at Victoria Park. We'll speak exclusively to our coach Lee Matthews, and we'll take a look at Monday night's Brownlow medal count where one of our stars went extremely close. Joining me tonight, as always, is our team manager Eddie Hillgrove. And Eddie, the excitement must be building around the club this week. It's
incredible, Sarah, isn't it? It's just something about a grand final. It's electrifying and everybody around the club is lifted. And yes, to try and break that 32-year hoodoo, I'm sure we'll be able to do it this week.
Let's get straight into it and have a look at the 20-man squad that we've selected for the 1990 grand final against Essendon. Eddie, the first name that I look at is Alan Richardson. He's been named despite that collarbone injury.
Yes, he certainly has, and he was put through probably the most exhaustive physical training test that I've ever seen put on any player. It was done by Lee himself, and as you know, there wasn't a tougher player to play than Lee, and the fact that he put him through it and he survived everything that Lee threw at him all stands well for Richo, and yes, he's picked him aside to play.
Ron McEwen unlucky again. He misses out. It must be hard to not name the likes of Ronnie and Shane Kerrison.
Well, it is. The fact that they played nearly every game this year, and everybody's ambition when you play AFL football is to play in a league grand final. There's no doubt in the world about that. The fact that they played so many games and they missed out on the grand final, it's got to be heartbreaking for them. But Lee spoke to both of the players after training tonight, and they've accepted it extremely well, as you would expect of them. But yeah, there's no doubt in the world that deep down they've got to be disappointed.
Yeah, I can imagine so. A crowd of more than 13,000 fans flocked to Victoria Park to watch the players go through their paces for the final time this evening. Collingwood media senior reporter Eddie Maguire is at Victoria Park. Eddie, what's the latest?
Well, the preparations are all over. The Magpies have been working for about 11 months now, and they look pretty good on the track tonight. Only a light run. Special attention was paid to Alan Richardson. Of course, he's had that shoulder injury. The coach, Lee Matthews, seems to think he will be okay. From the boundary line, he wasn't so convincing. But as I said, all eyes are on him. But the other players look pretty good tonight at Victoria Park. All eyes are on Alan Richardson, who finished the session, but still was very doubtful going into a grand final with his shoulder problem. At the end of training, Matthews put Richardson through a private test in the centre of the ground. The results did not look good for the defender. Both Shane Kerrison and Ron McEwen trained well tonight and didn't hurt their chances of replacing Richardson, while James Manson, who had a groin problem early in the week, had no trouble completing the session at all.
Thanks for that, Eddie. Now, Eddie again.
He
still has doubt over Alan Richardson's place in the side.
No, look, as I said, he's gone to every test that Lee could possibly give him tonight, and he passed every one of those with flying colours, and yes, he was picked in the side as a result of that, and he will definitely be playing on Saturday.
Good news. Now, it's been another huge day for the coach Lee Matthews, so Collingwood media went down to training and had a chat to the coach exclusively.
Well, it looks like he'll be okay. I must admit, it's a bit of a surprise to me. I thought last week he was sort of no chance, but he's done much better this week than I certainly thought, so he looks like he's going to be okay. We really couldn't plan it much better, I don't think. Well, I mean, we're going into the match with our sort of full complement of players available pretty much, and they've all played plenty of football over the last couple of months, so yeah, we can't complain about our preparation.
Great to hear from Lethal there, and you couldn't have asked for a better preparation heading into the big day. If he gets the win on Saturday, they'll be saying he will be coach for life. Now we're off to a break, but after we come back, we'll review our last clash with Essendon in the semi-final. We'll recap the thrilling finish to Monday night's Brownlow medal. Don't go anywhere.
The Commodore fuel-injected V6 delivers 37 miles per gallon. You've either got it or you haven't. I guess that's why Commodore's #1.
The Sun and the Herald make publishing history on Monday as they come together in the new Herald Sun. Altogether, an even better newspaper. Twice the world news from our correspondents around the globe. Be doubly well informed on Australian affairs with Nikki Sapper and Tony Parkinson. Terry McCrann gets right down to business. You get the latest finance and commercial property news in the Herald Sun. 2 for the price of 1.
2 great newspapers together.
Welcome back to our grand final edition of Team Sheet. There's less than 48 hours before the first ball is bounced in the 1990 grand final. Last time we played Essendon, Eddie, it was a 63-point thrashing. The boys must go in with some confidence.
Oh, there's no doubt in the world about that. The fact that they had a very hard game again last week and we had that week's rest, it certainly all goes well for us for this week. And yeah, the boys have never been fitter. The fact that we've got everybody available for selection too makes a huge difference. And yeah, the boys are going into this week with certainly a lot of confidence.
A key to that win over Essendon in the semi was Gavin Brown. He kicked 5 goals and Peter Dacos, Doug Barwick also kicked 3 each. Who do you think Sheedy will send to Brown this week?
Well, he had Anthony Danner on him last time we played, and our spies that have been out watching Essendon's training, even though a couple of them have been behind closed doors, they tend to believe that his brother Terry may go to Rowdy this week, and that certainly wouldn't worry Rowdy. That I'm sure that he could cope with anybody that they do throw at him the year that he's had.
Now, a key moment of that semi-final was Scott Russell's run down and strip of Derek Kickett before goaling on the run from 45 metres out late in the third quarter. It really epitomised our attack on the ball that day and the manic pressure on the opposition, didn't it, Eddie?
There certainly is no doubt in the world about that, and that's one of the things that Scotty's renowned for is his forward pressure he puts on the opposition players every week, and to have a second attempt at Kickett again and to be able to retrieve the ball and run into a goal from 45 metres out was certainly uplifting to the side, and there's no doubt in the world about that. Certainly uplifted the supporters as well, which is good.
Another inspiration is Darren Mullane. He's been playing with a broken thumb for weeks now, and he'll enter the grand final with that broken thumb as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt in the world about that, and I think it's pretty well documented, the fact that he does have to, he wears plaster during the week, and he has the plaster cut off just before he goes out for the warm-up, and just to see the agony the poor bloke goes through to get the plaster cut off and the needles put into him. And unfortunately he has to have the same thing done at half time, the needles to get him through for the second half of the game. It's incredible. He's one of the toughest people I've ever met in my life, and to go through what he's gone through is certainly an inspiration. It certainly lifts the boys around him as well, the fact that they see what he's got to go through, and if he can go out in the field with that, it certainly gives them a lot of confidence. There's no doubt in the world about that. So yeah, we'll just keep our fingers crossed and hope he gets through well, which I'm sure he will.
Another event that may give the boys confidence was Brownlow medal count on Monday night. Graham Wright went just 1 vote short of Footscray's Tony Liberatore. Do you reckon he's a chance to win the Norm Smith on Saturday?
Oh, he's no doubt in the world. He's got to be. He's had such a great year, and the fact that they left it till the last vote again to announce Liberatore as a winner was certainly a bit of a disappointment for Wrighty. But yeah, he's had a great year, but we've got many other players who have certainly got a chance to win the Norm Smith. You've got Gavin Brown, who we spoke about. You've got Scotty Russell. You've got a couple of key defenders in Craig Kelly and Michael Christian, and you throw in Tony Shaw, as I said, Tony Francis. There's a lot of players out there who could certainly qualify for the Norm Smith. There's no doubt in the world about that. And let's just hope we have a great win, and that's certainly one of our boys that qualifies for the medal.
Yes, definitely. Now, it wouldn't be the grand final without the grand final edition of the Footy Record. Let's have a look at what it looks like this week. It's the first edition under the new AFL banner. It'll be available at the MCG on match day for $3. It's a little bit steep, but it's worth every cent, I would think, and it wouldn't be the granny without it, so don't miss out on this souvenir edition. Now, Eddie, before we go, last year's grand final between Geelong and Hawthorn was one of the most physical we've ever seen. Do you think there's a chance of that repeating again this year?
Look, it's a grand final, and grand finals come at any cost, and Sheedy being the competitive beast that he is, look, I'm sure he'll get his players to throw everything at it, but there's no doubt in the world we've got the players that can sort of stand anything that's thrown against him. I'd certainly like to, hate to be walking down a dark alley and run into Dennis Banks or Darren Malone or even Monkey. Monkey just smile at you be enough to frighten you, but so yes, we're not too concerned what they throw at us, because I'm sure we've got the players that can handle any situation.
It's been 32 years since our last premiership. Good luck on Saturday. What do you think?
No doubt we'll win. I'm sure about it. Everything for the whole week seems to be leading up to the fact every preparation done by the club is set up for the fact that we're going to win the grand final, and the boys' attitude and just being around them and listening to them and seeing the way they've trained and the way they've played through the final series, there's no doubt in the world we're going in with plenty of confidence, and let's just hope we can get it up for the Magpie Army.
Thanks for joining us tonight and giving us that great insight heading into the grand final match. And thank you for joining us as well and throughout the year. We all can't wait for Saturday. Remember, win or lose, we want to see you back at Victoria Park for our family day on Sunday. Or if you game, you can head to the tunnel on Saturday night. And just quickly, my tip for the result, I reckon the Pies will get up by 40, maybe 48 points. And I think the skipper, Tony Shaw, will go okay as well, just quietly. Go Pies!